Hello, welcome to my home. I'm moving soon. I've been in this apartment for like 5.5 years, so I wanted to do an apartment tour. That if anybody finds it interesting, cool. If not, then that's fine too. There used to be plants out here, but they're all dead now. I did have a Christmas wreath on this door, but a DoorDash driver took it off and threw it on the ground and ran away.
Sure, you just didn't knock it off?
No, so the Christmas wreath covers the apartment number, and I know that. So every year I put up a giant paper sign where you can see it that says the apartment number. And I guess they just didn't give a shit because they like lifted it up to check the number, and they saw it and then put my food down and then like completely removed it, threw it on the ground here, and then left. And I opened the door because I was watching through the peephole. I was watching her do this entire process. And I opened the door and went after her and was like, you could have at least put it back. And then she didn't. She ran away. Let's go inside. Like we already have it. I'm just going to cut to it. This is where you enter the apartment. This area has gone through a shitload of changes since I moved in. I will be showing a lot from like the first apartment tour I did, like a month after I first moved in, which was a Patreon exclusive like MTV Cribs parody. Halloween! It sucks. It was horrible. This is Spider-Man. Don't worry about him.
You don't want to take out his face real quick?
Why would I reveal his identity? That's not... I keep wanting to look at you, but then I look at the light and it hurts me. This area just kind of became storage. Because I had a recliner here at one point that I got rid of because I didn't like it anymore. I had no plans for like what I was going to do with this area, so it just became storage. This is all stuff for a video that I was going to make. That actually, Bilal, this is stuff for the video that you did voiceover work for.
Oh yeah.
That I never got around to doing. Wow, thank you for the live demo and for spinning that. There we go. All right. This is my dining table. This was given to me by youtube.com/comicdrake. It's a nice table. These chairs I got for a nice price at a local. If you have a what's it called? A Habitat for Humanity restore near you, go there. That's where I got these chairs. They were like $15 each. This is a giant like oversized mouse pad. Basically, it's a play mat. For games and stuff. It makes it a lot easier to pick up cards, because picking up cards is irritating. Oh yeah, this thing. I probably should mention this thing. Everybody hates this thing.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, right? I love it. I found it at Goodwill a long time ago, and I remember the two people that I hung out with the most during that time were like, this is disgusting, and I was like, fuck you, I love it. Here's a fun little node. You'll notice all of the light switches are taped up so that people can't flip them. That's because all of the bulbs in here are Philips Hue bulbs. And if they don't have power, I can't control them. So nobody's allowed to flip these. This is the most recent addition to the apartment. I've had this bottle opener forever, but so one of my friends came over and needed to open a bottle and didn't have a bottle opener, and then he found this, and I was like, oh yeah, I should hang that up somewhere. So I put it here, and then I cut a hole in this cup and put it here so that it would catch the bottle caps.
Renaissance man.
Thank you. This is the controversial thing where like, yeah, it kind of looks gross, but it gets the job done. This is actually kind of a nice kitchen, but I don't cook, ever. There's a lot of Tonys in here. If you don't know what a Tony is, it's what I've dubbed these fat Italian men. Oh, there's like cobwebs on this one. They don't move ever. That's why there's cobwebs on them. I'm trying to find like a classic Tony. This is a good classic Tony. You know this guy. You've seen him everywhere. I mean, they're all over here. I have a lot of like variants of like Tonys that don't really seem like Tonys, but they are. They elude the essence of a Tony. I don't remember. I was trying to think of this earlier because I knew this was going to come up, and I knew I would have to address it, and I do not remember why. But here they are. I just know I got one at some point, and I remember I went to there's a store called At Home, and they had an entire like section of Tonys, like a whole wall of them, and I think I bought a couple. So it spawned from like me having like one little quirky boy into having like 3 of them, and eventually it blew up into this. This is from, I bought the Hatsune Miku mixer, which I did a video on, and this letter was in there where they sent me a photo of their family and said thank you for buying it. here's our WhatsApp. If you make another purchase, I will give you a discount. This is where I keep leftovers and all my water bottles that I drink because I hate the environment.
I mean, you want to talk about your blender over here? You know, you're right. Let's get on.
It's a gross blender.
Yeah, let's get some.
There is a story behind that blender.
Editorial about the blender. All right, let's go.
I bought that blender in a fever one night because I was I wanted to be like a guy. Like, you know how there's like, oh, he's like the baking guy. Or he's like the fucking fruit guy or something.
So you want to be the blender guy?
I wanted to be the smoothie guy.
The smoothie.
So I went and I bought a blender and a bunch of fruit, and I started learning to make smoothies. And they're pretty good, but then I stopped one day because I stopped ordering groceries completely. What is in here? Oh, this is my medicine cabinet. I genuinely forgot what was in there for a second, and I open it every day to take my balding pill. This guy is great. This is probably my best Tony. There's a solid story behind this Tony that is too long for me to tell in this video, but he's cool. I wrote a screenplay about the story with this Tony, which is embarrassing, but it's a fact of my life. So these are some shelves I built. They've been harassed and broken multiple times, and they're honestly not great, but it's the first thing I ever did with woodworking. So there's also a Tony that's fallen down. These are in a state. They will probably be used as scrap wood when I move. What happened to my monkey? Bring my monkey back. There he is.
Monkey.
Okay, he's back. Oh, it needed to initiate HDR apparently. This is a mess. This is an Ikea entertainment stand that has a fuckload of stuff on it. There's a Wii U, a bunch of controllers, my PS5. The Wii U used to be where the PS5 was, but I had to move it because the PS5 is so fucking big. There's a Sega Dreamcast that I'm planning on retro-brighting at some point. N64, PS2, that's my childhood GameCube. It's also my childhood N64, Super Nintendo, Nintendo. All of those I could retro-bright, actually. This is currently where I'm storing all of my GameCube controllers. I love GameCube controllers, and these are some of the ones that I've painted. This is the Show With Issues set. Also, this is all my board games. This area has also gone through a shitload of changes over the 5.5 years I've been here. This is a pretty recent addition. All these board games used to be in the office, but I didn't like having to tell people to go to the office to look at board games. I really liked the idea of just, they come in, they look, and they're like, ooh, I want to play that. And that actually worked. Like the first day I had this, I invited people over, and like they went to the door and like immediately were like, ooh, cool games. And I was like, it fucking worked. This entire set was redesigned at one point. I knew kind of a rough idea when I first moved in of what I wanted it to be. I knew I wanted to paint this, and I wanted like some kind of sign. And these shelves are built-ins. These were already here. But at one point, basically when I decided I didn't like Funko Pops anymore, which was the correct call, I went through and I took all of them from every corner of my home, including this set, and that led me to redesigning this entire thing. This is Ron. This is Barbara. We love Barbara here. This is Wanda. This is like the shittiest Ultron on the planet. He's so dusty. Look at his face. It's so shitty. I love this guy. This is my bedroom. This isn't actually a bedroom. This is technically a study, I think is what it's called, or like a half bedroom or something on the floor plan. If you look up, there's like no ceiling fan, and it's a slanted wall, which is actually kind of cool because, you know, it slants up, which makes it seem higher than it actually is. But this bedroom has gone through probably the most amount of changes that than like anything that my in my entire zone here. Pietro's currently yelling at himself in the mirror. It used to be a Harry Potter themed bedroom because I kind of felt like the curved ceiling gave it like it's kind of like a cupboard under the stairs, but bigger. I love this gallery wall. I think it's one of the coolest looking things in my apartment. I'm planning on doing lots of gallery walls in the future. This is the old Show with Issues logo. This was at the first apartment before I changed the logo to something that's arguably more boring, but this is a shitty logo that I made in Illustrator, so, you know, that's a Google Home. Oh, that's another thing. I have Google Homes in each room. In the living room, I have 3 of them. That is mostly because I love to sell my soul to Google. But a side benefit of that is that I can tell them to play music, and through the Google Home app, you can link them together as like a speaker group. So I can play music throughout the entire apartment just by asking it to do that. This is the hallway in heavy quotation marks because it's an apartment, so it's small. I love this thing. I didn't really talk about it in the kitchen, but I like old like Coke designs and stuff. I think they're a fun retro design. I found this at a thrift store. I really enjoy it. This is where my lanyard collection lives, which is mostly lanyards from conventions, and these are all from AMC. I think they still do though, but AMC, I went to a lot of their like double and marathon showings of like Planet of the Apes and Avengers and shit like that. So that's all those. These are all like from school and other things. This is the bathroom, which is a blur to you because I'm not gonna show you my bathroom.
Just censor it.
Because it's disgusting. This is my office. This is probably the room that YouTube has seen the most of. I've shot pretty much everywhere in this apartment, especially during No Break November, which was a month in November of 2018 where I filmed and edited and released a video every single day in November. They're all around 5 minutes. That was in an effort to get YouTube to pick up on the fact that I was no longer a comic book channel. I was a variety channel because I changed the name from Auram's Comics to Auram's Corner because I felt pigeonholed. Anyway, all that being said, it didn't work. It just killed my channel, but it was fun. And I filmed like everywhere in this apartment. My original plan was to film like everywhere in the city. I just wanted to go around and do stuff, but I didn't do that because I'm lazy. There's a lot to talk about in this office. This office has also gone through probably the most changes, aside from like the bones, like the layout of it. And mostly that's just because like things have changed meaning. Like this is my desk, and it's always been my work desk. But like this, for example, this desk used to be a different desk, but it was always a desk. But this used to be the Show with Reviews set, where I would sit in this chair facing towards the outside door. It would be the Show with Reviews set. But now I sit facing the wall using that camera, and it's the set for Absolutely Marvel and DC, which is a channel that I am on for work. This monitor used to be the background for the Show with Reviews. It's never really used for that anymore because I don't really shoot the Show with Reviews anymore. But this monitor is used for me to see other people when I'm shooting AMD. So everything is like smart in here, like smart in a vague sense, where I can click a button on my phone and the lighting completely changes, the camera turns on, and I'm pretty much ready to go to film. So if you want to look, there's a light there, which is my key light. This is also sort of a key light, but it's colored. This is like, it's a very bodgy lighting setup that I just kind of made by adding lights and moving them slightly so that I didn't have to change too much every time I filmed. Like this is just a lamp that I have in here to light normally, but it has a smart bulb in it, so it changes when I film. That light back there is lighting the background slightly and gives me like a nice purple glow. There's actually a light directly above me that I always forget is there because I've stopped using it. It's a hair light, and it's just red at 1% right now because it used to be like a nice white or blue like hair light on me, which would look nice on people who aren't balding. That's why it's turned off. But what I do is this computer is actually not this computer. This computer is my server, and I can use Parsec to head on in and open, for example, OBS, which is what we use to record using a plugin called Video Ninja, which just, it's a way to inject and view cameras at like max resolution peer-to-peer, which is overly technical, but that's what it does. So yeah, this is what I'm looking at, basically. I sit here and I look. This stick is used to set the focus on this camera. Oh shit, and sometimes it does that. There we go. I have a focus remote for this camera. This is a Lumix G7. I have a focus remote for it, but I don't use it because it doesn't work the way that I want it to. I don't remember the specifics of it. I just remember that it doesn't work the way I want it to.
Yeah,
so
finger stick works better.
Finger stick works better because it just works. Like, it's dumb, but it works. And this is actually a cat toy that I neutered and stuck a pen with like one of those like touch sensitive for phone things on it. So also, I record everything on this computer. So my microphone, which I use to talk to people on my work computer, I just swing over with this arm, and then I open Audition and record with that, and obviously record the video with OBS. A lot of the setups in this apartment, especially at the end of its life cycle, are very, very specific to like my work and use cases. Like, I could never film the show with reviews here right now because of all of the stuff that's in the background. But this shot was very easy for me to like run cables to the computer that I record and edit on, and then use this. The reason why I'm not just running a cable from my work computer to this monitor is because the 3080 cannot have 5 monitors. And I already am using all 4 monitor slots. So I had to use a different computer and remote into it to use it, which, you know, it works, but again, like, it's a bodge. Like, everything is just like solving issues constantly until it's in this web of nonsense that works, but kind of doesn't really make sense. Every corner of this room when I moved in was planned to be a set of some kind. This wall has gone through a shitload of changes. This area, this corner, used to be the set for a show called Retcon that was very, very short-lived on the channel. This is another set. If that wasn't clear. This is the set for Auram's Forum, which I don't really film anymore. You can see by this blackboard has Spider-Man locked behind PlayStation bars, which it's from the last Auram's Forum I filmed, which was about Spider-Man being exclusive to Sony in Marvel's Avengers, which was like a year or 2 ago. Bilal helped me assemble this quad monitor arm, which was a fucking nightmare. I tried to do it myself and like almost died. So Bilal thankfully came to my rescue. Yeah, it is like the amount of weight on this is not ideal. And like, it's all within spec too. It's just like don't buy this. Like, don't buy a quad monitor arm if you're gonna put 4 27-inch 4K monitors on them. This is a shitty Android tablet that I run Touch Portal through. Touch Portal is basically, if you know what a Stream Deck is, it's basically a virtual Stream Deck with unlimited buttons. I have a bunch of scenes here, like when I used to play Overwatch. I did a video on this where I could click a button of a hero and it would select that hero. This I use all the time now when I play Final Fantasy to change my job. This is a very recent addition, and this is entirely overkill, and I'm fully aware of that. This is a pair of M50Xs, which I have a vinyl skin on that I need to replace because it's falling apart. It goes into a Shure P3RA body pack, it's a wireless receiver for a transmitter that's hidden behind my monitors over here. The reason I do that is because I love these headphones and I wanted them to be wireless. There is a Bluetooth version of these headphones. However, Bluetooth sucks. Just kind of full stop there. Bluetooth fucking sucks. And for editing, I need like precision, and for gaming especially, which I do at this desk a lot, you definitely need low latency. Bluetooth is not low latency. So I needed a way to make these headphones wireless. And obviously for those that don't know, this body pack and receiver combo is like $800. I bought it used, so it wasn't that much. But that was not my first like method of going about doing this. My first method was obviously to buy just some gaming headphones, like the best gaming headphones, because those have low latency. So I bought the Arctis Pro Wireless, which is kind of bar none the best gaming headset out there. It's like $400. I bought that, I tried it out, still wasn't low enough latency. The reason I need low latency is because I monitor my microphone when I'm talking through it. And if you have any amount of latency that is higher than 9 milliseconds, you can hear the delay when you're talking into a microphone. You won't be able to hear it or detect it when you're like playing a game or editing something, but if you're monitoring your voice, it will sound doubled. So the only way to do that is to get professional audio monitoring, which has lower than 10 milliseconds of latency, and this is the cheapest way to do that. But yeah, it's completely overkill, and I don't recommend anyone do it. But again, it's very specific to my use case. Cue all the people in the comments hating me for doing it this way. All that about Bluetooth I just said. I have this pair of headphones that Bilal is also wearing on his head right now. These are great.
They're great.
Yeah. They're, what are they? WHXM 1004? Sony, fix your fucking naming conventions. That sucks. My keyboard it's just a Durgod Taurus K320, I think, that I have milk keycap set on. They're MX Blues. Don't get at me in the comments, I'm fixing that soon. I have a set of Holy Pandas that's on the floor over there that I'm planning on building a keyboard around soon, but I just haven't gotten around to it, and also it's expensive, so. My speakers are adorable. I love my speakers. They're like from the 90s or something, and they sound great. They're a set of like Altec Lansing speakers with a sub that matches, and I just love them because they're like the old translucent blue color. They just match. I wanted everything to match on my desk. This is a custom Midi controller that I got made from a guy on Etsy. I'm not going to drop his name because I had not a great experience with him. What I do with it is I control all my audio with it. So you can see on Voicemeeter here, if you look at this slider, I can control it. This wall is also kind of new. This is a bunch of dead computer parts. Including that graphics card. The graphics card is dead. I fully tested it. It's for sure dead. But that's just the start of like, there was nothing on this wall for a long time. There actually were some Zelda posters on that wall, but they got covered up by my monitor array once I upgraded to 4. So I took those down, and then that stuff slowly went up. Actually, I might have lied. I don't think that motherboard is dead, but it's so old it might as well be e-waste. This is where I store a lot of my gear and a lot of like cables and extraneous stuff. What the fuck is this called?
It's a corkboard.
Corkboard. This is a corkboard where I track what I need to do each week for work. This is all the bills that I have to pay. It's probably blurry because I mean, there's no reason why I shouldn't share that, but like, maybe I will. Who gives a fuck? This is also outdated. This is not my bills right now. This is bills from like 2 years ago. I just haven't changed it. But it's just helpful to know like what auto payments are going through. This is my gear closet. It's, you know, just general storage, but also where I keep all my gear, like my lights, my tripods. There's the old whiteboard back there that I've just kept because like having a whiteboard is nice sometimes. I used to film voiceover in here until I realized that the room outside of here is treated just well enough. And also after I put my server in here, which you might be able to hear it, my server is in here, sitting on 2 laptops, 2 old laptops. It is just loud. It's a server, which is why it's in the closet and it's loud. I don't know if you want, can you get a shot of the server? Is it even, yeah, there you go. That's my server. Yeah. That's it. That's pretty much it. Thanks for watching. I like this place a lot and I'm gonna miss it, but you know, we're moving on to greater pastures. If there's anything in here that you're confused about or want more information about, like you'd care, but if you do, let me know, and I'll be in the comments. This video is mostly for me and like 10 years, not really for you, but like, I thought some people could have maybe some interesting insight gathered from this. So yeah, if I glazed over anything, let me know. Thanks. See you at maybe I'll do a house tour, like an empty house tour. If not, then I'll see you in like 4 years when I upload again.